So a few weeks ago, we talked about a scenario in which the world exists and there's no roads and no rules, and everyone can just drive, wherever they want to get from point A to point B. And this was all sparked by my impatience while sitting in traffic, trying to get somewhere. So the other day was Christmas Eve, and I had to go somewhere for work on Christmas Eve, but I really wanted to be, at a friend's house in Cumberland, Rhode Island, if that means anything to anyone. So I'm coming from Warwick, going to Cumberland, Rhode Island, and I wanted to get there because it's Christmas Eve and I have so much shit to do today. I want to get there to maximize my time, hanging out, having a couple beers on Christmas Eve, as per tradition. And so I'll reiterate again, I have no patience when it comes to to the point where at this point I think I need to see somebody. I think I need to go to a therapist to talk me down to get me some patience back. So I take the exit. And I can see there's an assload of traffic ahead of me, right? And there's two lanes trying to go where I'm going. One is straight only, one is left only. And there's a huge line of traffic in the straight only lane, and I'm going straight. So I decide to bypass all the traffic in the straight only lane. I get in the left lane, right? And I barely made the yellow light. Whipped it left, went probably a solid 15, 20 miles an hour through a Shell station parking lot and then rolled like a rolling stop and zipped right back out onto the main road going the direction I was trying to go in and jumped everybody in traffic in the long line of traffic going straight only. So I'm swearing in victory, you fucking pieces of shit, swearing in victory.
Dennis Reynolds moment.
In my car, right? And then all of a sudden, so on this another stretch of road, there's three lanes. There's, the direction I'm going in, these opposite direction, and then the center turning lane, similar to Mineral Spring Avenue. Yeah. Right? And there's some fucking idiot that's half in my lane and half in the turning lane. And I was rolling my window as I was passing him. Obviously I wasn't going to stop. So I went onto the breakdown shoulder. Yeah. And, half into the other lane. And I was on my way rolling the window down. And it was in my throat. I was about to say, "Get in the middle lane, you fucking pussy." I was going to scream this out the window at this person. But I didn't. And the only reason that I held back was because it was Christmas Eve. But in 30 seconds, I was about to explode.
A nice warm summer day, Adam's telling this guy he's a fucking pussy.
On the road. Immediately I had to call my sister because I know she appreciates stories like that. One time my sister, when I was leaving the train station on my way home and I was doing my commute, I was calling her from my Jeep and I had a Dennis Reynolds moment because I was calling her through the Bluetooth and I didn't know she picked up. So I I screamed out the window "Drive your car, you fucking pig!" And then my sister, then through my radio, I hear, "Whoa!" So she caught me.
Extreme.
It's extreme. So,
road rage does kind of get the best of you, though. I consider myself a very calm, patient person most of the time, but there's something about calm. I was driving the other day and it was just there was a little bit of traffic with no stoplight in sight, and I just had to gently pump the brakes. I'm what the fuck is going on? So it just, I don't know, something inside of you just
why are you braking? Stop braking. There's no one in front of you.
Usually I want no part of a road rage interaction because people are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And I'll get fucking stabbed or shot on the road. But I get so angry in my car. It's probably the most angry that I get is when I'm in my car. And
100%.
When someone does something dumb or I see some idiot fucking looking down at their phone, not paying attention to a fucking thing they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm it's so clear. Or
someone going 40 miles an hour on the highway with their face buried in their phone.
I can't fucking stand it. Yeah, and I have a long commute into work in the morning usually, and so it's a long way of road rage. It's just a long stretch of road rage.
I've been doing this thing recently where I've been giving my steering wheel an Indian sunburn, trying to rip the leather off the steering wheel.
I put two hands and I fucking yank on it. I'm ready to fucking rip my steering wheel off. Like I'm a fucking NASCAR driver getting out of his car. I'm gonna fucking rip my steering wheel off the column.
Yeah, I very rarely yell at other drivers, but in my car, it's just it's just like a rage pit.
Yeah, I just like I won't yell to other drivers, but I will like I'll swear at them, but to myself in my own car.
Yeah. Right.
Off.
I I don't know what exactly set me off, but I was like pulling into my garage. Recently, I was pulling into my garage, and something set me off where I was screaming at the radio because something about the MC on the radio. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This is your job. You're a radio MC. Shut the fuck up and play the music." And yelling in my car. And I went upstairs, and I think I went out to like get coffees for Jen and I. And she goes, "Adam, is everything okay? I could hear you from the kitchen."
I told you guys about the Dunkin' Donuts I'm in a war with. Did I say that? Did I share that story?
Think so, no.
Okay, so there's this Dunkin'
Donuts. I think you
Donuts.
did before, yeah.
So anyway, this to sum it up. There's this Dunkin' Donuts on the way to. I passed probably 12 or 13 Dunkin' Donuts on my way into work. That's how many. I could go to any one of those to get a coffee or an iced tea. Any one. I go to this one that continually fucks up my order / doesn't fucking do. They don't do anything. I pull up. They gave me my shit one time and I just drove away. I didn't pay. Like I just drove away because they weren't paying attention. They gave me my shit and I sat there and nobody came to the window to ask for my money and I just left with the shit.
Fuck them.
One time I pulled up and this lady is out at her car smoking a cigarette on her break and she's the only one that's working at the drive-thru and I'm like, I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at her and she's like waving me over going like 1 minute. It's like, no, fuck you. Like
not 1 minute.
Like when I was at Dunkin' Donuts when we had a break, you had someone cover your shit. Like, that's how this works. If you're working by yourself, I have some sympathy for you. But then it started happening again and again at the same time on the way home from work. She's out having a cigarette. So then it started where I wasn't even getting something at Dunkin' Donuts, where I would drive by and see her at her car having a cigarette, and I'd hold down the horn.
Just until she came back.
Hold down the horn until she followed. Like, she wasn't going to move, but I was just fucking holding down the horn because I was so fucking angry that she was just sitting at her car having a cigarette.
See, that's not your fault. The rage is not your fault in that situation.
I fucking couldn't. And she's the worst. She was the worst too. Like not only like fine, maybe I'm just shaming someone for being on their break. I don't care. But also she's terrible at everything else she does at Dunkin' Donuts, and she just doesn't give a fuck. She's outside of her car talking to her friends. I can't deal with it. I continually go to that Dunkin' Donuts just to piss myself off. I don't know why.
You're a glutton for punishment.
I know. Anyway,
Holly's in a war with the one near us, like right in that liquor store plaza near my house.
Yeah.
She hates it. They get your order wrong every single time.
Every time.
And like
it's not rocket science.
No. And with her now, because she's pregnant, so you can only have a little bit of caffeine. So we make coffee at home in the morning, but she wants to get like a decaf on the way to work, just like either have something like warm to drink or just for a little bit. And they always make it like a regular, not decaf.
Yeah.
And she's like, this isn't like that's not like you picked the wrong kind of donut. Like you literally can't have a regular coffee. And then they always I don't know if it's like in their contracts or they only hire people that take smoke breaks against the building. But like these people take a smoke break at the drive-thru. So like they're like outside the building, but it's only about 15 feet from the drive-thru. So when you're getting your order, all you can smell is a cigarette. Like you can't go walk in the parking lot.
No.
At least the woman at your Dunkin' Donuts, Matt, goes to her car.
Yeah, her car's across the street from it's right next to the drive-thru, but I can't smell it. But yeah, if I was pregnant, and I can't imagine what that's like, and I wanted a decaf, if I wanted just one thing, I wanted a decaf coffee. They can't even fucking make a decaf coffee. I'd get out of that car and throw that coffee against the window.
Oh my God.
It'd be hummed a million miles an hour.
You whip it against the wall like Jack Nicholson whips the eggs in Anger Management. Yeah. I said over easy.
Yeah, right. I would whip that coffee right at the fucking window. Oh man, that'd make me so angry. It's so simple. Dunkin' Donuts is. I know from experience. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts for 3 years, and it's not hard. It's not a hard job. You just got to pay attention.
Right. I'm sure it's busy and stuff, but still, like
we never had. I mean, me and Josh Bird ran the drive-thru at the Dunkin' Donuts we were at. We're not rocket scientists.
No,
we did a pretty good job.
Or so you think.
Or so we think. I guess maybe I could have been on the other end. There's someone else doing a fucking podcast talking shit about us.
Everyone's order on.
I'm very confident in my sandwich making abilities. I used to run that fucking sandwich counter. You can ask Derek. Derek knows.
I trust him. I trust you.
Well, anyway, that's Adam continually deals with the. It's all starting to make sense. You not wanting road rules.
I'm trying to do it.
Is because you just have the worst road rage that anybody's ever seen.
I need to calm down. Even my dad, was a fucking wild man, like he tells me, Adam, you gotta calm down. Yeah. Like So that's not a good sign. But I'm trying. I'll try.
All right, celebrity birthdays.
Celebrity
Let's
birthdays.
do it.
So I am the orator today. And the updated scores are Matt made a charge recently with 4.5 points. Ryan with the lead at 7.
A charge.
I have 5 points. And Mitch has 0 because he has not participated
Mitch
yet.
has not come in yet.
So not
Mitch is really slacking.
So I've got 5 birthdays today.
Okay.
3, 2 of them are sort of wild cards. So, and I'm not going to tell you which is a wild card and which is, not. So here we go. Whether he's laying the smackdown or burning nitro on Monday nights, he already knows who's next.
Bill Goldberg.
It's Bill Goldberg. Happy birthday, Goldberg. How old do you think he is today?
I'm going to say 106.
That's wrong.
You go, Ryan.
I'll go.
No, he guessed
I'm
106.
No.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I'm going to say, so I did just watch a documentary on him the other day.
Shocking.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to say Bill Goldberg is 57.
Matt?
I'm going to say Bill Goldberg is 58.
Bill Goldberg is 54.
Oh, shit.
Close.
What's up? Johnny Lynch.
Got the plugs in the building.
What's the word? Hey. Come have a seat. Or if you want to sit out there, whatever.
Okay. This actress lived in a trailer park on Independence Day, and her dad was Uncle Eddie, but her first dad was a dude who looked like a lady.
Juliette Lewis. No. Oh, fuck. Liv Tyler.
Oh, let's.
Nope.
Wait, hold on. Say that again?
Not Liv Tyler?
She lived in a trailer park on Independence Day, and her dad was Uncle Eddie.
Oh, fuck.
But her first dad was a dude who looked like a lady.
Why can't I think of this actor? First of all, I thought it was the Vacation movies.
So I'm like,
Juliette Lewis was in those movies, but Uncle Eddie is not her dad. What the fuck? Why can't I think of her name?
you probably don't know the actress's name or character names, but like if you like say who she is in either one of the movies, I'll give it to you.
I mean, I don't know. Dude looks like a lady. Her dad's not Steven Tyler because that's the song, Aerosmith song. Dude looks like a lady.
So is it the dude?
What?
Oh, that's Aerosmith's song, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's an Aerosmith song, but I don't think.
But
it's
what
any of the
movie
others.
is it in? Like what is one of the movies it's in?
Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yep.
Is it the daughter from Mrs. Doubtfire?
It's the
Matilda?
daughter from Mrs. Doubtfire.
No, it's not Matilda. It's the older one.
Yes,
I
exactly.
had a crush on her. That's how I remember her.
I'll give you that one, Matt. So it's Lisa. Her name is Lisa Jakub. That's her name. So
how did I get
obviously, that's a wild card one.
Oh God! I thought of Mrs. Doubtfire right away, but I was like, that doesn't make. I don't know.
All right, how old do you think?
That was a good riddle.
Sally Fields.
How old do you think Lisa Jakub is today?
I don't know. She's
Or
Lisa
Jacob.
Jakub is not a shade over 46.
Okay.
So Mrs. Doubtfire was 94.
Oh, you want to hear Ryan? You can put the headphones on here, Ryan.
So let's say she was 18 in 94. I can't do math. I don't know why I'm trying. I'm going to say 44.
Ooh, Lisa Jakub is 42.
Ah, damn.
Pretty wild.
Younger than I thought.
Okay. This one might be whatever. When she's not with Norman Bates, she's a ready player. One day she can hear the sound of metal.
I mean, it's the girl from Ready Player One. I don't
Is it
know.
Yes.
the actress in Sound of Metal?
Yes. What's her?
The main actress?
What's her name?
So now this is tough because we both said her character from movies. but
You
we don't
both
know
only
the
you
names.
only get a 0.5 unless you get her name.
I looked it up the other day too.
And she's also in Alita Battle Angel. Or is that the
No,
same
not
thing?
her. Not
No?
the same girl. She's in,
Elizabeth something?
nope.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Olivia Cook is her name. And she's also in Bates Motel, and apparently she's going to be in the House of the Dragon Game of Thrones spinoff.
I thought you were going to say that.
So 0.5 to each of you.
I appreciate you putting the Sound of Metal in there because I've never seen Ready Player One, so I wouldn't have got that.
Well, that's foolish of you.
She's
How old do you think she is,
28.
Ryan?
I'm going to say 33.
She's 27.
Oh,
Ooh.
Just missed it.
oh, one of my best guesses.
Man, I should have said 27.
Should have.
All right. Most recently known for his pinky ring, he can also be found with 12 Monkeys or as Magneto's favorite Pyro.
I don't fucking know this guy's name.
No, not Sam Rockwell.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get that because the character name is in this. You're not going to get the half point on that. I'm just going to – it's his name's Aaron Stanford.
Yeah,
and
no, I
he was Pyro in X-Men 2 and X-Men The Last Stand. He was in – I guess he played someone named Pinky Ring and Perry Mason, which I thought you two watched. And he's in the sci-fi show 12 Monkeys.
Not a huge.
Oh,
Perry
yeah.
Mason fan.
I didn't know the I know who you're talking about, but I don't know his name.
Oh. All right. Well, how old do you think Aaron Stanford is today?
I'm gonna say 49.
I'm gonna say he's 43.
He is 44. So close.
Oh, that
You're right
kills
there,
me.
Matt.
My God.
Right there.
Fuck.
All right, last one. This actor is a beautiful boy surrounded by little women and loves ladybirds, but will soon be the king of hot summer nights at the Oscars.
He's
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Was that one of the Reach ones?
Huh?
No, that was one that we knew, right?
That was a very on-the-nose one. Those are all names of movies that he's in.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Hot Summer Nights? Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, that movie. That movie still
rules.
fucks me up
Yeah,
sometimes. That's a good movie.
That movie rules. It never came out. It never hit theaters.
It's on. I think it's on Prime.
It's really, really good.
All right, how old do you think our boy Timothy Chalamet is today?
Oh, shit. He's young.
He is young.
He's a youngin' boy when he was eating the cum out of an apricot. And, right? Was that the movie he was in? With,
Yeah, I've never seen it, but that's what
Yeah,
happens.
that was him and Armie Hammer.
Yes.
Armie Hammer.
Yes. I mean, you saw it, Ryan, right? I'm describing
yeah,
it
I saw
accurately.
it.
I'm not making this
Ryan
up.
didn't see
No,
that movie. You kidding me?
That is horrifically accurate. I'm gonna say 24.
I'm going to say that Timothy Chalamet is 23.
Timothy Chalamet is 25 years old today.
Went on the wrong side of it.
You dummies. All right, that was a pretty good round, though. You guys got – I'm surprised that, Lisa Jacob got a half a point out of that. Updated standings. I've got Matt at an even 6 now.
Let's go.
Pretty good. Ryan, a strong 9.5. Me still with 5. Mitch with 0. And our new member, John Lynch, also with 0. And that's it for celebrity birthdays this week.
The birthdays. All right. All right, what have we been watching, Ryan? You want to start?
Yeah, I'll start us off. So continuing on my Star Warrior theme, I watched the final of the original
Star
trilogy,
Warrior
Return of the
theme.
Jedi.
All right. So here's my first question.
Yeah.
What now after the trilogy? Knee jerk reaction. Who's your favorite character from like the core? I guess, or anybody. I guess.
I mean, I really like Han Solo. Like, I really like obviously Harrison Ford. He's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
Out of the core. Other than that, I don't know, because I mean, it really like the core is obviously them. I really like Darth Vader. I mean, he's got quite a character arc over these 3 movies.
You're in for even more. Mm-hmm. You're in for even more of an arc.
Return of the Jedi was definitely my favorite of the 3 that I watched. But yeah, I would probably have to say Han Solo right now is my favorite. But I obviously. Great movie. I really enjoyed it. My favorite of the 3 so far, and then I'm going to dive into probably sometime this week, dive into the episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Nice.
I also watched Die Hard 2 after Die Hard, and Die Hard 2 really amps up the needless killing from So like in Die Hard, really the only deaths are the terrorists, which comes with the territory. I mean, if you're gonna go and hijack a building, you're probably gonna lose some men, so that's understandable. But Die Hard 2, there's a scene where like the villain blows up an airplane with hundreds of people on it, and they really just kind of move past it really quickly. Even like they go back and forth between like what's happening, and then they show like the news broadcast because they take over like an airport. They take over Dulles Airport, the terrorists.
Yeah. And
the news broadcast like, and it looks like the plane has blown up and everyone on board is feared dead. So now we're going to go back to John in the studio. I'm like, wait, what?
Sort of glossed over that.
Yeah, I just killed hundreds of people. But Die Hard 2 is probably my least favorite of all the Die Hards. It's okay, but I don't know. Like, I feel like they definitely make up for it with Die Hard 3. Like, they get back to like the original John McClane in Die Hard and Die Hard 3, but Die Hard 2, they really just kind of go insane with all the murders. But Bruce Willis is still pretty funny. And honestly, I don't like after Die Hard 2, it's like, you got to divorce your wife, pal. Like she's putting you in these situations. Like in the original Die Hard, the reason he's there is because she invites him to the Christmas Eve party. In this one, the only reason he's at the airport is because he's waiting for his wife's flight. Like either divorce your wife or like take a 2-week break around Christmas. Because clearly there's some terrible things happening when you go to meet with your wife around Christmas time. But yeah, definitely my least favorite Die Hard. But still, that I think is more of a mindless dude movie than the original. That one is just kind of a lot of death and destruction for.
You're saying it's more of a mindless movie than the first one?
Yeah, like the first one I think is like a really good like action movie, and I think like we talked about last episode, they really flipped the action star trope on its head. Like you went from like a Stallone, Schwarzenegger, like those type of guys, Jean-Claude Van Damme, where Bruce Willis was more of like the everyman action hero, which I would much rather watch than like, oiled up Schwarzenegger.
I don't know. Like Commando,
people.
But
I mean, they each have their place, but I prefer like the Bruce Willis style.
In the fourth movie, if you remember, Bruce Willis launches a police car at a helicopter.
Oh, okay.
He gets in the car, he like jams the pedal down with something, and then launches it into
throws a brick on the
throws a brick into the foot pedal.
Well, that's where the Dark Knight got it from.
Yes, exactly. And he just like launches it into a toll booth, and the toll booth like acts as a ramp and launches the car into a helicopter. Now, if you remember that.
Well,
Justin Long.
I've only seen the first one. I've never seen the others.
So in Die Hard 2, like at the end, it's obviously special effects, but it's super funny because they're on the runway and like the terrorists are about to get away, and Bruce Willis had just like emptied the fuel tank. So like as the plane is taking off on the runway with the terrorists, the fuel is like leaking behind it. So he's like sitting there laughing, and he gets his lighter and he puts the lighter on the fuel line, and the fuel line like goes like it's going to like catch up to the plane, but at the same time the plane takes off. So the fire like elevates off the ground into the
fire
sky.
keeps catching through the air.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think that is how it would work. And then the plane blows up with all the terrorists in it. But it was just like so funny, that one little scene where I don't know if like the fire could leap into the sky to catch the plane. But
it might not do that.
Who am I? And then I also started watching the new Bryan Cranston show on Showtime, Your Honor.
Yeah, how is that?
It's very good. Very, very good. So I won't give any spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it or wants to see it, but he plays a judge in New Orleans, and his son like accidentally, and this isn't spoilers, you can see all this in the trailer for the show, but his son accidentally like kills like one of his like high school classmates in like a hit and run, and like obviously the son leaves the scene because he didn't know what to do, and then he tells his father about it, and his father's like, well, we have to do the right thing, we have to turn you in. But when they go to the police station, he finds out that the person he killed is the son of like the most ruthless mob boss in New Orleans.
Oh shit.
So he has like a change of heart because he's like, if it comes out that you killed him, then the mob boss is going to have you killed and probably me killed.
Right.
So that's like how it's only been 3 episodes, but that's kind of how
that's a cool like setup though.
Yeah, it's really cool because they could easily just have done like, oh, they want to hide it, but at least so far, like everything that's happened, it's been like logical.
Yeah.
So like
There's so many implications.
He wanted to do the right thing, but he can't. But really good cast. So it's Bryan Cranston, his son. I've never seen in anything before. But the son's teacher is the girl from the oldest daughter in the Nick. I don't know if you remember that show with Caitlin Olsen.
Oh, yeah.
So she's his teacher. So she has like a decent sized role. Isaiah, I always forget his name. The guy who played Clay Davis in The Wire, Isaiah something.
He's in it.
Whitlock.
Yep,
he's in it. He plays like a congressman. Also Bryan Cranston's best friend. He says that. I think he has to say that in every show.
Yeah.
And the guy who he was in Boardwalk Empire and Michael Stolberger or something. I forgot his name.
Who did he play in Boardwalk?
What the hell what's his name? Hold on, I'm going to look it up quick. Talk amongst yourselves. Hold on, I'm going to look it up.
He was...
he played one of the big
Rothstein.
mobsters.
He was Rothstein in Boardwalk.
Arnold Rothstein.
Oh.
Michael Stuhlbarg. He's in a ton of different stuff.
He
plays the mob boss.
Oh, okay.
He's in the Apricot.
He is. Yes, he plays the dad.
Does he come in the Apricot too? The Peach?
He does. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first scene. It doesn't fit into the rest of the show. And yeah, so that's really good. I would definitely recommend that. So I think because I got the 1 month free of Showtime, but then I canceled it. So I think I'm going to wait until the show's over and then re-sign up with like a different email.
Yeah.
And then binge the rest of it because there's really nothing else I watch on Showtime, so I don't feel like paying the monthly subscription. And then the next two things I know Matt has also watched. Yes. So I don't know, Matt, if you want, I'll save the last one on my list for next week.
You're gonna save Backdoor Sluts 9 for next week?
Yeah, next week.
Let's talk about the Bee Gees doc. I guess. What was you watched it first? What was your impressions?
I thought it was awesome, and I mean, it's obviously not our generation, but just like to see how they kept like reinventing themselves. And I mean, you know them as a popular band, and you know how they've influenced other bands, but I just didn't realize like how they kept transitioning almost from like decade to decade to stay relevant, and how many like good songs they really had.
It's so funny. They came up. I didn't know really. I knew the music. Basically, I knew the soundtrack for Saturday Night Fever, which was their biggest album, and it won an Oscar. It won a million Grammys, but. It was just so cool seeing like they came up at the same time as the Beatles, and they were the Beatles.
Yeah,
like they were the Beatles from England, like this like pop group. Then obviously the Beatles weren't brothers, but like these three guys like very very close, and obviously, and it just was so weird. And like the Beatles like overshadowed them, so it was just tough for them to find their own voice. And then they found their own voice, and then they broke up and they went away, and they came back again. And then they went away, and then they came back again, and they were as big as they've ever been. It's their story is amazing.
I gotta check this out. I love the Bee Gees.
Yeah, such a resilient band. Like to keep reinventing yourself, and then I didn't realize too the whole like backlash to disco, because they were almost not wrongly associated with disco, but because of how popular Saturday Night Fever was.
Yeah.
When people started hating on disco, they just automatically went to like Staying Alive.
Yeah,
and in that album, and then like radio stations wouldn't play them, which is nuts because in the 80s, like if radio stations didn't play you, it's not like, all right, we'll release it on Spotify, or like you were screwed.
They do that really good juxtaposition, like part of the documentary. I won't get into it so Adam can watch it, but it's like this really good, like they did like a vinyl burning of disco records at a White Sox game. This like disc jockey from Chicago was like, disco sucks. This whole like, and like while they're doing that, they're showing the Bee Gees on tour in like their own little bubble with like, tens of thousands of fans coming to their shows. And then like while this whole like hate disco movement, which like also like it was a little deeper than just hating the music of disco. There's like a whole like cultural, thing behind it, and like the, racism and shit like that. But it was just, I thought it was so good. And like, so obviously brothers Morris and Robin have passed, and Andy as well. But Barry Gibb does like new interviews in this documentary, And they also have other Ryan. What was the other clips from like a behind the music or something like that? Like they did interviews with the other like in the early 2000s.
Yeah, because like VH1, I remember had like a really like expansive behind the music documentary on them. So I think that's the interviews you see with Morrison and Robin.
Yeah, and so
that looks like that was like from the same thing, like those two.
They just
like
had
the same documentary.
Yeah, they had a lot of really good archival footage from the Bee Gees, like when they went to Miami, when they found their when they started singing falsetto, and when Barry started singing falsetto, and like when they were in Miami, when they found their new sound. There's a lot of good like archival footage of them in their house in Miami. It just looked like the best time ever to make music. Like just living there and making music. It was the same house that Eric Clapton made a lot of his music in.
That's cool.
Yeah,
the interviews are really cool too.
Yeah,
like with Clapton and Liam Gallagher and Timberlake. Like it's kind of cool, like seeing how like the Bee Gees influenced them.
Yeah, and who's the guy from Coldplay? What's his name?
Chris Martin.
Curtis Martin. The
49ers quarterback.
I just thought it was really cool, and like it's very sad, obviously, because like Barry has this like touching. I was texting you about it. At the end, he talks about how he would trade all of like every ounce of his success, like trade all the hits to like have his brothers back with him. And like the whole theme, the documentary creators did a really good job. They get a lot of info from their wives as well, and a lot of like footage from their wives and stuff. They just like did the whole theme of the whole movie was them as brothers and them becoming famous. Like it was like almost like them becoming, they were like, they knew they wanted to become famous, but at the heart of it, like they were just like, two of them were twins, and then what the hell what's his name? Barry Gibbs.
Yeah,
was the older one, but they were like so close, and like he was so sad to hear him say that.
Yeah, it was
all to have his brothers back with him, which is sad.
So I'm on their Wikipedia page right now. They had 22 studio albums. Mm-hmm. That's insane.
So 22 studio albums. There was a lot of misses in there, a lot of Billboard #1s, and they turned into like they reinvented themselves towards the end of their careers, where they wrote for everybody in the 80s. Like Diana Ross, Barbra Streisand, like huge albums. And all of those albums became #1 as well.
And I'm looking at this, like their awards and nominations. So they were nominated for awards in 78, 79, 80, 97, 2003, 2004, 2015. They won every single thing that they were nominated for.
Yeah. And the Staying Alive album they did for Saturday Night Fever, with John Travolta, was massive for them. It was it was like, and also like you look at it,
the 70, 78, 79.
Ryan, one of my favorite characters they interviewed were the studio technicians.
They were so good.
They were so good because they were with them for a lot of like that period of time where they were huge, and they talked about how what happened to the drummer? The drummer left.
I think his mother was sick.
Yeah, he left. His mother was sick. So while the drummer was gone, they took tape of him playing and looped it and like did this like crazy thing where they hung it over like a broom pole and had the tape just constantly going through the deck to make the drum beat.
Yeah.
Essentially what you would do in modern music with a drum machine, they were doing with this like reel-to-reel tape. And they were like, well, it's just a placeholder so we can finish the album. And then when he comes back, we'll have him dub in the actual drum. And they were like, this is so good, we can't change it. Like,
right.
And that is it was Staying Alive, right? I think it was Staying Alive, the drum beat on that.
Yeah, it was like that how that song started.
Yeah.
And having like the studio head too, or the like the one of the guys who was behind Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
And he told Barry Gibb, he's like, we need you to write the soundtrack. And they sent him a cassette like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And it was with like Staying Alive.
How Deep Is Your Love?
Yeah, like 5 other songs. And the guy's like, are you kidding me?
Like massive. Yeah, that was crazy. They were like, I can't believe this is the tape. Like the tape is like the 5, like you're like that transcend the Bee Gees. Like them because of these songs. It was crazy. I thought it was so good. And like also their manager right at the beginning, the guy that stayed with them for a lot of the time, I forget his name. But essentially, the record label were just like, "Hey, we have a guy who's Australian. You can like hang with these guys." Like, well, yeah, I guess they were originally from. I should amend my previous statement. They were from Australia, but they lived in England as well, right?
Yes,
they were in London. Anyway, but yeah, they were like, "Oh, this guy's." Imagine that. Imagine like getting served the Bee Gees on a platter and being like, "Hey, you can be their manager because you're Australian."
Yeah,
and this guy was like young, like had never really managed anybody before. It's cool. A very good documentary. I can't recommend it enough. It's like like outside of the content, it's one of those documentaries where it doesn't really matter. It's just like a really well done documentary and it has a lot of input from the people that were, firsthand accounts. So that makes it really good as well. And also the soundtrack obviously is fire because it's the fucking Bee Gees.
Awesome. That sounds like something I'm interested in.
Yeah, I would definitely worth a watch.
Bee Gees,
and
How
then,
Deep Is Your Love? Or How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? His name.
How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? And then I'll finish with Heaven's Gate. I watched the first 2 episodes of that. The documentary on the Heaven's Gate cult.
You guys love your cult documentaries, huh? This is like the 3rd
They're
or 4th one.
Fascinating.
They're
It's
very
an alarming amount.
Well, so this cult, this one is particularly fascinating to me because
Well, this is like a real cult.
This is
like watching this and then watching that Nexium one. Like Nexium's child's play.
It's child's play.
Yeah.
These people left their families and were so devoted. There was a core like 40 or 50 people that left their families and just that was it. Like no communication, no nothing. There was one happening where they allowed these people to go back with their families to like talk with them for a while and then they left again. But like they would show back up in their lives and then be gone because they were so dedicated to that. This is the whole basis of the cult, that a UFO is going to come, aliens are going to come down and pick these people up and transcend them to the next, how do they describe it, Ryan? The next level of reality or the next the next form of human evolution?
Yeah, they phrase it as like the next level. Like your body would be morphed into a next level being. You would get in the spaceship and then go to
like a video game.
But the leader of this is just he's mentally ill. Very clearly mentally ill. Like so much so that like all these things happen with cognitive dissonance where essentially he's amending his philosophy the whole way just to make it fit his narrative. Oh. And the people just go along with it. Like this person dies and then all of a sudden he starts talking about how like, her vehicle gave up on her. Like, but when like really she was not supposed to go that way. She was supposed to go in the UFO. It's just fucking crazy. And also
the guy thought he was, he thought he was directly related to Jesus and that he was Jesus' successor.
Yes.
On Earth.
We have input from Johnny Lynch.
Hey,
okay.
Guys. Hey.
What's up, John?
Can you hear me? Is this good?
Yeah, okay.
Hey, is this guy's name Dave?
Domar? No, so this guy's name. So Adam, look him up on your computer. He's leader of Heaven Gate. He's
Marshall Applewhite.
Yeah, Marshall Applewhite. Look at this guy and tell me he's not insane. Show him the John.
It sounds eerily familiar to a kid I know.
Oh my God.
You would recognize him. I mean, you might recognize him. He's like when I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's him.
That guy's frightening.
Here's the other thing, Ryan, that really gets me about these.
Is this the one with the suicides and everybody was wearing the Nike sneakers?
Yep. I remember my dad.
I remember this when I was a kid. When I was a kid.
I remember my dad watching the news thing and being like, "This is the best advertising for Nike ever."
When was this?
97, Ryan? 98?
Yeah, the mass suicide was in 97, but they started in like the 70s. And it's crazy because the two leaders met. Like the female was a nurse at a psychiatric hospital where the guy was committed.
Right.
But you couldn't talk the members out of it. Like the family members would be like, this guy is literally insane.
The craziest thing was they weren't hostile about it. They were just so happy with their lives in this cult. And it eventually morphed into they killed themselves. But I don't think it started off like that. They interview a lot of the people and they're like, they didn't really talk about how they wanted to kill themselves at the beginning, but then it morphed into that. A couple of the previous members would say they thought it might get to that. And
that's why they left. Yeah, because it definitely started more of like a community.
I mean, I don't know. They lived in this mansion. I don't understand how these cults work. Where are they getting their money from?
That's what I don't get. I don't know. I forgot what they said as far as how they got their backing. I think someone had money. I think it was someone's grandfather.
Well, that's how it works.
It was one of the members' grandfathers. There was a huge inheritance, and then they just used that.
Because they don't work, right? They don't treat it like a church where a percentage goes to it. They just their whole life is that existence.
There's probably to a point where they do give a lot of their savings and shit to it. But at what point, when they're not working, what point does
you can burn through 5Gs real quick?
Yeah, right. Giving it to this fucking crazy lunatic. It just is. It's also fascinating to me that they have they're crazy, and this leader's crazy, but he has the frame of mind that he wants to tape everything he does and videotape everything he does, where he wants to leave it to like the next group of people that want to get on the UFO, which makes good documentaries for us. Because otherwise, we'd just be looking pictures at people with sheets over them in Nike sneakers.
So I'm looking that up. They discontinued that sneaker because of this. Yeah, they're called Nike Decades. They discontinued them.
How much are those going for on eBay?
I don't know.
With StockX.
I don't want them.
That must be high. Yeah, I want the fucking black and white colorway from those. The Heaven's Gate. Dude, listen. The world is morbid. If they put out the Heaven's Gate one,
they go flying off. They go
flying off the shelf. Sneakerheads.
I'd buy a pair. I mean, they're pretty fucking ugly, though.
Yeah, they're pretty ugly.
But like, they all have these. Ryan, the haircuts that they had to get.
Like bowl cuts.
Yeah, and then they changed their name, so they would like. So my name, if I decided my name was going to be Matt in this cult, I couldn't, because you can't choose your own name. You have to choose a different name, and then you have to put Odie at the end, O-D-Y. So my name, but it's no vowels. So my name would be M-T-T-O-D-Y. 3 letters, 3 consonants, and Odie. Matodi. Yeah, it would be
not bad.
Name. Yeah.
Yeah, mine would be Renoti.
Mine would be, all the A's are gone. Demoti. Not even close.
Demoti.
They're for sale for $6,660 on eBay right now.
Holy shit.
The sneakers?
Yep.
Jesus.
I gotta see
how much? 666?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sticker price, $30.
Wow.
Imagine.
But, I mean, definitely if you like cult documentaries, like I think this might be the apex of them, because this is like a real religious, like messed up cult.
Yeah. They talk about Waco.
Is it one part, or do I gotta watch like a series of?
It's 4 episodes.
No, it's a series.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not bad.
One part.
It's not bad. Ryan, finish it though, because I want to talk about the last 2 episodes. It's pretty wild shit.
I will. I'll probably finish it over the next couple of days. So I'll definitely be ready by next podcast.
All right. I'll go next quick. Mine are quick. I watched BG's documentary, and I watched Heaven's Gate. We already talked about that. Watched Wonder Woman 84.
I watched it as well. Ryan, you know how Matt and I are pretty lenient on and we won't get into this until you finish. Matt and I are 2 very generous movie critics.
Generous is a good word for
generous movie critics. This movie was bad.
It was bad.
As someone who loves DC Comics and Wonder Woman and like is a champion of their movies and other properties, this movie was bad.
Yeah.
So
I have a feeling that I won't, because I'm going to be watching it with like a different viewpoint. So I have a feeling I probably won't dislike it as much as you guys, but I'll wait until I actually see it.
Here's the thing: you might not, like coming at it from a different angle, might not. Also, it just does. It not only does it not live up to the first Wonder Woman,
not even close.
It feels like a totally different movie, and it goes beyond the like I can enjoy this. It's a fun comic book movie. It goes beyond that in the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. Like it's when I say it's something
it fringes upon kids movie.
It's
at one point,
and like they just like the way they did some of the action scenes is just tough to look at in 2020 as you're watching these other movies with amazing images, and like this movie was shot a few years ago.
So it wrapped filming in December 2018.
Yeah,
so it's been 2 years,
and this was like a lot of people hate on Zack Snyder for what he's done with the DC movies and how they're bad. But you look at this movie and you wish that he had his touch on it.
Right.
Because this is the first one that he did not have his touch on.
Right.
And it's bad. So
I wonder how much they fiddled with it in post-production.
Man, at all.
Well, no, what I mean is he was involved with the first Wonder Woman. He was not involved with this one, with the action scenes specifically. What'd you say, Ryan?
Do you think they like fiddled around with it a lot in post-production with all this spare time?
I don't know. I don't know what they did with all this spare time. I'd have to look at that. I don't know if they've said what they've done, but
I don't know how
too much tinkering.
Too much tinkering.
As a millionaire studio head, how you can like put this out and say, "Hey, this is a good movie."
Especially after the first one was exceptional, like above average for a superhero movie. It was very good. Everybody
I really liked the original.
The third act suffers in the first one, but overall it's a great movie. The action scenes are the best in any of the DC movies. It just, yeah. I mean, watch it and tell us what you
watch
think.
it and we'll get what you think, and we'll dive into it a little deeper.
Pretty disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed.
Yeah, I've only waited because Justine wants to watch it too, so we're gonna watch it in New Hampshire this week.
Oh, nice. She's gonna be mad.
Yeah. A friend of mine texted me, and he was like perfectly accurate. He texted me and said that Chad. He said that The Lasso looks like they clipped it out of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Like yeah, I mean, and like Roger Rabbit is like for its time like good animation, but
not now.
Yeah, we shouldn't be comparing it to Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Anyway, and then the last thing I watched season 5. I think it was the last season of Boardwalk Empire. I still hadn't seen it.
Okay,
hadn't watched it, and so I watched it all the way through this week, and I loved it. I thought it was really good.
Right,
it was a good end.
Before you guys spoil anything.
I'm not.
I never. Season 3, the season with Gyp Rossetti, I thought that was the pinnacle. I don't know how it could have gotten better after that. No, so I haven't seen seasons 4 or 5.
No, you're right. Gyp Rossetti, what's his name? Who's the actor's name?
Bobby Cannavale.
Bobby Cannavale, that's the peak of that show for me. It's the best. That was the best season.
He's fantastic.
He was a lunatic. The final season is a good wrap-up for a lot of the characters. I thought the end was okay. Hey, Ryan, you saw it all the way through?
I did.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything because Adam, you'll eventually watch it, I'm sure.
Yeah, that might be a good one to because Jen has never seen any of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I try to.
So it's a good rewatch, and it'll be seasons 4 and 5 will be fresh for both of us.
Yeah, so it was good. It was decent. There was a large focus on Al Capone in season 5.
Oh, cool.
Some stuff pulled from other movies,
that people wanted to see. Probably.
Yeah. So
I feel like the UFO didn't really fit at the end.
You're right. Yeah, the UFO was weird. Yeah, Atlantic City. Yeah. So it was good. It was good. They did an interesting thing in the final season that I thought was a good move, and I wish they had done it more throughout the other seasons, with Nucky and his brother. So anyway,
yeah.
That's all I've been watching.
And so I watched Wonder Woman 84 as well. Won't get into that anymore. I've been in and out on this show. Jen watches it sometimes, and I'll just like pop in and check it out. It's called Bones. It's not on TV anymore.
It's a Connor ass show.
It is. That's 100% a Connor show. But
is that the guy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I don't know. I didn't see that. Maybe.
I don't know Bones at all. I do
look it up. But anyways, it's about like a forensic scientist. Her name is Temperance. That's her actual name in the show. But it's actually Zooey Deschanel's sister is the lead actress in it, and like plays a complete opposite character of Jess on New Girl, which is pretty funny because like you see, they look alike obviously, but it's just different. Coming fresh off of New Girl and into that.
Do you know that John Daly writes Bones? John Daly is the guy. No, John Daly is the guy from
the comedian.
From Waiting.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And he was in Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main guy was Angel on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay. Yeah.
David Boreanaz.
And he's an FBI agent, and they investigate murders and killers and stuff like that, and it's pretty good. I don't follow every episode through. Like I said, I'm in and out, but I like it because it there's no drawn out shit, but things come back from other episodes, and there's no drawn out solutions to anything, and it's fun to guess oh, it was him. Oh, it was definitely her. That's the killer. This is the killer. I'm not super invested, so I like that about this show. I also watched Batman and Batman Returns, the Michael Keaton ones. I had to go back and watch them. I really wanted to watch Batman Returns because that's a Christmas movie. So I figured if I'm doing that, I might as well pop on Batman. Those movies are so good. There's something so charming about the Tim Burton led series. And then you also have to appreciate how Joel Schumacher carried that Burton style Gotham into his two movies. But the performance by Michael Keaton as Batman is really good. Obviously Jack Nicholson as the Joker is amazing. And then when you get to Batman Returns, you have Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer as the Penguin and Catwoman, and they're great. And I forget that at the end of that movie, Catwoman lives. It is a sin that they didn't make a third one with Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer somehow involved. And they laid the foundation for other ones too. Like Billy D. Williams plays Harvey Dent in Batman, Two-Face.
Yeah.
And there's a Poison Ivy Easter egg. There's maybe not Killer Croc, but there's a ton of other super villain references in those Michael Keaton Batman movies that they just don't get into, and then they're not able to get into. But they're fun movies, and I actually, something I wanted to keep an eye on was, obviously I'm a big time, I'm a co-founder and president and CEO of the Ben Affleck fan club with Matt, but and he gets a lot of shit because his Batman kills people because he's he's done with it. He's at the end of his rope. He knows, the world is at stake in Batman versus Superman, but Michael Keaton's Batman would never kill anybody. He blows up a factory full of the Joker's goons. He throws a bomb at somebody. Oh, in Batman Returns, the Penguin pushes a woman off of a roof. He doesn't even make an attempt to save her. If you're gonna bitch about Ben Affleck's Batman killing people, you can't have it both ways.
People just don't like Ben Affleck is the problem.
Some people with a pea brain just don't like Ben Affleck.
It's a shame.
It's extremely mean.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it.
No, it's true though. There's definitely and when you don't like something or someone in a role, you're just gonna nitpick every little thing, and there's really usually no justification to it, especially with a character like Batman. I'm sorry, but he's a murderer. That's part of his character.
You gotta crack a few eggs if you want to make an omelet.
Exactly. I mean, the world, there's too many people in the world anyway.
So, definitely the Michael Keaton Batmans were awesome. And, something I forget about those movies is that, it's supposed to, the Val Kilmer and the George Clooney one, it's supposed to be the same Batman, because it's the same Alfred through.
Yeah.
And that's, the very small connection through all four movies.
Is Alfred.
So I want to watch the Schumacher ones. I'm psyched to watch the Val Kilmer ones, the Val Kilmer one, and then I was reading about the fourth one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I read somewhere that Clooney got paid a fraction of what Schwarzenegger got paid.
Batman? So me and Ryan got very confused on this a few months ago, talking about these movies. So it's Batman Returns of Keaton.
Yes.
Batman and Robin is Clooney.
Yes. And Chris, whatever his name is.
Yeah, right.
Chris O'Donnell.
Thank you.
And then it's Batman Forever, Kilmer.
Yes.
And then
No.
Oh, all right.
Batman and Robin is Kilmer.
It's Kilmer.
Yeah, is Kilmer.
Batman Forever is
Kilmer and Chris O'Donnell?
And Batman Forever is Clooney, still Chris O'Donnell, Schwarzenegger, and Uma Thurman.
It's so fucking
There's so many.
So it's Chris O'Donnell is with two different Batmans.
Yes, he is the same Robin with two different Batmans.
Right. That's what I was getting confused on. And they have one movie each.
Batman Forever is
Clooney,
with Val Kilmer.
And then Batman and Robin is with Clooney?
Yeah.
Okay, so because you get more Robin with the Clooney one, and he just sort of gets introduced in Batman Forever.
Yeah, because Batman Forever is the one with Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, Jim Carrey as Riddler.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore as Sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Batman and Robin has Arnold.
I think the Chris O'Donnell in both movies is what throws me off.
Oh, yeah. That's right. And Barbara is in...
You're right. Batgirl is in...
the Clooney one.
In the Clooney one, yes.
With, what's her name? It's
Barbara Gordon.
Yeah. No, but what's the actress name from Clueless?
Oh, Alicia Silverstone?
Yeah.
Sorry. We're sweating over here.
Take it easy.
Yeah. So I'm glad we got that straightened out. I'm sure Justine
until the next time when we confuse it again.
I'm sure Justine won't be clutching whatever she's holding on to.
Yeah, I'm definitely on her shit list. Also, I spoke to Justine was texting me the other day, and she texted me and she said, "I heard your plea for you to read the Harry Hole books, and it sounds right up my alley. So I'm gonna check it out." And she sent me a picture. She got the first one, and I was so excited. I'm like, I need validation that these books are good. So I need somebody else to read it, and getting the seal of approval about a book from Justine, that's pretty high up. She reads a lot of books.
She's the only one that reads books.
She's the only one.
Brian might read a book.
Did she get back to you?
She got back to me, and I am sad to say that she did not enjoy it as much as I did. But she said.
But didn't you say you liked like the later books better?
Yeah. So like he really hits his stride once the detective gets back to his home country. But the first two, like the first one he's in Australia, the second one he's in Thailand, and then the third, through the rest of them, they're all for the most part set in Norway. So like once he gets to Norway, like it really starts to build his world, like his bosses and his love interests and his partner and stuff like that, all his friends, stuff like that, and you get like what his home life is about. So I hope she keeps going. Hopefully she does, and she can change her mind because the best stretch of those books is books 7 to 11. But to get to book 7 is a large investment. But you know what?
11 books.
There's 12 books actually.
12.
Yeah.
To make one good movie.
They made one tremendously bad.
They made
movie.
one awful movie. It was terrible. We're not getting into that.
That's the first 6 books,
and it's only gonna make me mad. But in those books, like he really hits the author really hits his stride, and it's a big investment to read that many books. But like for someone who can read a whole fucking book in one day, it's nothing. When you read like Chris Traeger from Parks and Rec, like reading 7 books is nothing.
No,
so
that's true. She's gonna read 7 books regardless. So
I also offered to let her borrow them because I have all of them. So if she wants to borrow them, she can.
Nice.
That's it. And I'm very sad about it.
I think that
Schwartz reads them and he likes them. Schwartz read the first 3 and he liked them. He actually went to the library to get the 4th one.
Really?
And I was like, the library? What a throwback.
What do you think's going on?
You mean the place in front of the pool?
Yeah, right. The place that catch the pool.
The Sharon Library is old.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he's in Foxborough.
Yeah, it's right down the road.
He's not in
He's got the
Sharon?
membership card.
Yeah.
He's not in Sharon?
No.
It's like you take the Sharon exit and then you got to go backwards.
Yeah, his in-laws are in Sharon.
Oh, right. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We're just outing where Schwartz's family lives.
His address is...
No. I don't think I've been in the library for, I don't know.
I bet it looks exactly the same. Every library in
Still got
America
that
looks...
smell.
That's books stink.
Yeah.
And Tom Pags will account for this. I never went to the library once when I was in college. I hated it.
Not
I hated it.
once?
Well, the thing was, everybody went to the
Wikipedia. There's a lot of other things going on.
Not even just to look up shit, but they went to the library to like study and do like work and shit.
Tom is definitely
like,
a big library guy.
Tom was a big library guy. Connor too, I think, to a point. But like they used to all go to the library to get like alone time and be quiet. Mm-hmm. There's a million people there that you know.
Yeah.
And you end up starting chit chatting. And then they all leave and go to the library. I have the fucking house to myself.
Right.
So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna sit there in my room and fucking crack stick. That's it. I can study, do whatever I want.
Study.
I used to love doing catering deliveries to the library.
One or the other.
Catering deliveries?
Yeah, you just bang all the pots and pans. Everyone's trying to study. It's amazing. But I mean, it's not my fault. Would you? I mean,
Yeah. The only time I was in there was when we had to do group projects and I had to meet with my group. Did I ever tell you guys that story of the group project from our freshman year?
No.
Me and Schwartz were in a group. We got paired up in Business 101. And the whole point of Business 101 was everybody at Bryant has to do it. You have to create a full-fledged business plan for a fake business, and you present it at the end of the semester. We did a laser tag place called the Laser Zone, Get in the Zone.
I remember that.
Okay, so we did this whole thing, and our group was really good, and we became pretty good friends with all the people in our group our freshman year because like people we didn't know. It was great. And then comes the day we're supposed to hand it in, and me and Schwartz both slept through our alarms, and we were the ones that were supposed to hand it in. We think that John Moore, our roommate, sabotaged us
you?
and shut off our alarm, but we like
ain't smart
sprinted.
enough to
We
do that.
sprinted to the fucking thing, and our business professor fucking gave us shit and like docked us a letter grade because we
Holy
couldn't.
shit.
But it was still in the time when we would have had class. But he's like, in the real world, they're not gonna. And I was like ready to fucking punch this guy in the mouth.
In the real world,
So
you email it in.
I forgot to hand in a group project for like my, graduate level business class on the right day, and and my professor was like, okay, no problem. And then we all just still got A's.
He was being such a fucking cocksucker, dying on this hill, Professor Greenan. This fucking
also,
asshole.
I can't think of two things more different than college life and the real world. Like that's not. They're not the same.
He was such like we were literally. I think we were less than a half hour late in a class that was an hour. You had to drop it off that morning when we would have normally had the class, but it was at the end of the semester. So instead of having the class, everybody dropped off their presentations, like the booklets.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like 25, 30 minutes late. And he refused to just not be a cocksucker about it. And take it.
So like not.
I feel like if you do that during the time that class was supposed to be, like he should be in that classroom the whole time.
That's what I said. But me and Schwartz had to. We had I think later on we had I fucking blocked this out because it was an awful experience. We had to have a meeting with Professor Green and our group and explain why. I wanted to fucking kill this guy and hang him out the window because he was being such a cocksucker about it. Like, also, like, I was like, I brought it up in the group, I'm pretty sure. I was like, don't fucking punish these people.
Right. Like,
punish me and Schwartz, maybe. We had the job of handing it in, but he's like, it's a group project, being a real fucking prick about it. What an asshole. So let me tell you about another professor, Brian. Lori Coakley. Lori Coakley, my marketing professor.
We unzipped him. He's unzipped.
I am untethered. My rage knows no bounds. The Lori Coakley. One more thing. This is an extra credit project in this marketing class we had. GMAC was in the class. Right.
She was lucky you did it.
Right. One extra credit was we could come in and we could talk about a person or company that you thought did really good marketing. So I brought in a DVD of Vince McMahon. And I was like, I did a little talk. You didn't have to bring anything in, but I brought a fucking object to show. Yeah. And I was like, Vince McMahon and the WWE, tremendous marketing. Here's why. Yeah. And she basically ridiculed me for watching wrestling.
What a bitch.
And I was like, first of all,
$1 billion business?
You don't know if I actually watch wrestling. Number two, am I wrong?
Yeah.
Am I wrong, you fucking cunt? As GMAC, I hate her. I hate her so much. Hopefully COVID got her this year. All right.
Alrighty. Also, just one more thing about this is in the real world, this wouldn't be acceptable. No, in the real world, whoever didn't get what they were supposed to get, now you're fucked. Now you have to deal with it.
Yeah, right.
And you deal with it like an adult because it's your job to.
It was just such bullshit. I hated it. I hated that. The college experience wasn't great. Anyway.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. Ryan?
We didn't say the date or anything.
Hey, this is episode 105 for December 27th, 2020. Right? 27th?
The year of our Lord.
Yeah, final episode of 2020.
This is a day that will live down infamy. Hopefully by around 11 o'clock tonight, I'll have a smile on my face. If not, you guys have to come find me. I'm going to be hanging from a telephone pole somewhere down in Pawtucket. Just pray for me, please.
Hey, I just want to say 2 shows I've been watching. Hot Ones. The game show on TBS or True Life or something like that.
What's it about?
Oh, it's the wings one.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
They eat the hot wings, then they got to answer stupid-ass questions.
That's awesome.
It's fucking great.
Sean Evans. He's the man.
It's hysterical. And then, The Rookie, Season 3 comes back January 3rd. I'm just saying.
Hey, the #1 fan of The Rookie.
Hey, Ryan knows it's good, too.
I love Nathan Fillion.
Hey.
I just haven't watched. What is it on?
It's on
ABC, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's not Hulu or anything? Or do I have to watch it on?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Nope, it's on Hulu.
Perfect.
You'll enjoy it.
I'm going to watch it.
You're only 2 seasons in. They're quick.
The Rookie, baby.
Cool. All right. That's it.